I'm here today because I lost my brother James in October 21, the 5th of October 2021. He was 41 years old. He went to the hospital because he was dehydrated and had really bad diarrhoea. My son took him. It was Nine Wells Hospital. When they arrived at A&E, my son was told that they wouldn't let my brother in. They weren't going to come and see him. So my son had to basically put up a fight to get my brother seen to. He was really unwell, else he wouldn't have went to the hospital. Eventually, he had to phone 999, my son did, and the call handler eventually phoned into the hospital and got somebody to come out and see him. They took my brother in. My son said that he was going to wheel him in in a wheelchair if they didn't take him anyway. They went in. Within a couple of hours, I'd received a phone call to say that my brother was going to die. Potentially he was going to die. He was that unwell, he was going to die. During this, I was communicating with my brother via Messenger and stuff like that, and you know, it was very, very short messages and thumbs up and stuff like that. But what happened over the next couple of days, the messages started to become less and less and less. I joined a ventilator survivor group on Facebook, and I was reading about other people that was on ventilators and stuff like that. That was prior, sorry, I'm getting a bit mixed up. Over the course of the weekend, he went in on the Friday, and in the middle of the night, on the Monday night, they put him on a ventilator without asking me or making me aware. They just phoned me and told me that he was on a ventilator. But I knew something was going to happen because the communication became less and less, and I'd phoned them up and I'd asked them, you know, if you gave him anything to make him sleepy. So over the next few weeks, he was in the hospital, he was on this ventilator. We weren't allowed to see him. I think it was over a week, roughly about a week before he even got to do a WhatsApp video call, and he was obviously unconscious by then, sedated and paralysed. I would phone 4 times a day and do my video call at tea time. After about 3 weeks, my brother, there was one evening, one weekend we'd noticed that he was changing colour and stuff like that. It was a bit red and swollen looking. And then on the Sunday night, he'd swollen up. His face was like a balloon. It was red raw. And then I found out, you know, I think it was on the Tuesday, my brother was dead. I got a phone call, 41-second phone call, and it was dead. He'd had a cardiac arrest. After that, I obtained his medical records. I refused to take him out of the hospital. My brother had been placed onto a trial, and that in his medical records, I found that his signature had been forged. The trial, REMAP-CAP, randomised trial, it was a Dr. Pauline Austin for Nine Wells, who was the study investigator, put him on this trial. She forged his signature and put him on it. That withheld antibiotics. I tried to get a private post-mortem. I went to the police, I reported his death. I refused to take him, like I said. I wanted a post-mortem to find out the cause of his death, how he died, because of the state he was in. They eventually allowed me to see him after he died. And since then, it's been kind of a battle with the Crown Office, and I've gave evidence at the Scottish Covid Inquiry. We were never allowed a post-mortem, and they were never going to investigate his death. Recently, in 2024, a very, very kind consultant with over 30 years experience from England took hold of my brother's medical records, asked permission if he could have them, and he then submitted a report for me to state what he felt was the cause of my brother's death. And what he had noticed in the report was that my brother wasn't tested for like sepsis on arrival, and he had no antibiotics. So all the kind of protocol that was in place, usually before the pandemic or whatever, then they would follow certain protocols. That all went out the window. My brother, when I got to see him, he was unrecognisable. He had gained over 4 stone in weight. The funeral directors weighed him in his coffin and stuff like that, deducted all the weight for me. I've been fighting non-stop with the Crown Office. They now have this consultant's report. The major crime team has been in touch with me. I've gave a statement to them. I've gave statements to the police in the beginning. and the Crown Office have now asked for 2 extensions, and they have his medical records in this report. The report initially was only initialed, and again, very kindly, this consultant came and gave his full name. I've never spoken to him directly because obviously potentially a witness in this, but he's gave his full name to the Crown Office, and they are, I assume, investigating his death. They're passing it all up to the Crown Council. But yeah, that's kind of our journey, and it's been horrific. My brother's face was, he was unrecognisable. The size of him, I mean, his neck was in his face. It looked like he'd done 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. He died alone, face down, swelling for days, and I've lost absolutely all trust in the NHS. There's zero there. I wouldn't leave them in charge of my pets. So yeah, that's kind of all I've got to say. Thank you.